was hanging back in the day, the psychedelic waterfall. I was hanging with the dude named Timothy Leary Jr. We were hanging at a mystical waterfall. There was a spot that they took off the map because so many drunken rednecks had died at that bitch. So many drunken shrimps had died at this waterfall of many different types. And they took it off the map because so many people just pulled up and died at this place. They just took it off the map. So I said, oh shit, man, but I know where it's at. So me and my boy, even though they took it off the map, me and my boy Timothy Leary Jr. went up there to see where it's at. We rolled up to the spot. We knew where the trail was. We made our way down there. We made our way to the spot. There was nobody there except for one other car, psychedelic. Old geezers, couple, ancient woman, ancient grandma and grandpa, an old dude. You know, I mean, this motherfucking hike probably like 0.2 miles max round trip. Now my guy, you know he had those fascist ass hiking poles with his ass for that 0.2 mile hike. And I'm sitting there on the mystical psychedelic creek. So imagine, y'all, imagine a psychedelic creek that you've seen, this chill coming through the mountains. Imagine a psychedelic chill creek you've seen going through the mountains, you know, just flat, kind of chill with the rocks in betwixt. This mystical creek going down. That's mystical creek. This mystical creek just flowing. But all of a sudden, that mystical creek takes a 90-degree blah mystical drop off this psychedelic cliff. And from that mystical cliff, you can see the whole world, as far as you're concerned in that time, from that mystical creek. So you sit there on that creek top, and you look across mad mountains, looking out across the mystical world, and you're sitting there looking spiritual. Now, when me and my boy Timothy Leary Jr. were down there shrimping, we were looking, and you know, like I said, it was an ancient couple, and I said to this ancient couple, the only car around, I said, "What up, y'all?" And they go, they ain't trying to say what up to me. They looking away. I said, "What up?" They said, "I don't think they appreciated the pound blunt that I was blazing down." I don't think they appreciated the 40s of St. Ides and the pound blunts we were blazing, but this fucking ancient ass couple was hanging. The old girl was off in the woods looking at psychedelic rhododendrons and shrimping. Now the old dude was with his mystical hiking poles, multi-million-dollar hiking poles on a psychedelic 0.2 mile hike, round trip. He looking, sitting on the edge of a psychedelic drop-off of a 100-foot motherfucking waterfall. And he's looking out, and he's shrimping, taking selfies like a motherfucker. And all of a sudden, I'm staring at that motherfucker. See, I'm up creek, and I'm looking at that psychedelic old geezer. And all of a sudden, he goes, "Whoops, whoa," and he falls off the cliff. He's holding on to mystical rocks, the creek, the waterfalls blasting across his face like a psychedelic blaster. And this old ass geezer's holding on to strange little rocks and shit on the edge of a 100-foot cliff. His arms are stuck on the rocks of the cliff. He's staring up. I'm sitting on the middle of the creek, about 10 yards away from this shrimp, and he's staring into my eyes. His whole soul is exposing itself mystically into my eyes before this dude dies, and then he lets go of the cliff. And he dies, obviously. He falls off the cliff. I'm like, damn, son. This dude was staring right into my soul and my eyes, and he was watching and looking into me, and then he died, fell off a 100-foot cliff. And I'm like, fuck, man, that shit was heavy as fuck, man. All of a sudden, his wife starts screaming at me. She starts yelling, "Ah, where the fuck you were?" I said, "Your husband fell off the cliff. He's dead, probably." And I go flying down these mystical rhododendron ladders. I'm popping and shrimping and rocking and licking and sucking up across these psychedelic rhododendron legs and shit, trying to make my way down to the bottom of the holy 100-foot waterfall. Mystical rhododendron ladders, I'm pimping my way down. I come round the final mystical curve of this psychedelic 200-foot Shrimpanati type of thing, and I come around the bend, expecting to find a haunted corpse impaled upon rocks down at the bottom of this mystical waterfall. Right before I come around the bend, "I'm okay!" I said, "Ah, yeah!" I come around the bend. This fucking fool, 80 years old probably, at least 70, fell off a 100-foot waterfall into a motherfucking pool that was about 3 foot. And he's still sitting there alive as a motherfucker. He said, "I'm good, man." He had a little spurt of blood coming out of one part of his head, but other than that, he looked off the chain. I pulled his ass out of that little 3-foot pool. I said, "Dog, how was it?" He said, "That was the ride of my life, but I'm never gonna do it again now." I said, "Oh, man." I said, "Well, you know, before you didn't want to say anything to me." And he said, "Ah, yeah." Now, everybody in this world sometimes needs to fall off a 100-foot cliff sometime to open their eyes up and pull their heads out their own asses sometimes. His wife came down. She said, "Give me y'all's addresses." We gave her our addresses. They never sent us shit, man. Sucked, but it was off the chain. Spiritual experience. I expected some kind of mystical postcard or something, you know what I mean? This next is about hiking, y'all.